is declaring Donald Trump the 45th president of the United States. That's right, America has elected Donald Trump, a man with no political experience, as the 45th president of the United States. The businessman and television star began his candidacy as a long shot, and tonight he has once again surprised political observers of all stripes. He now faces the daunting task of not only governing, but of uniting a deeply, deeply divided nation. We expect to hear from Donald Trump in just a little bit. All right, guys, didn't mean to shock you there, but I think you all saw it coming. Lucy, is this the night you envisioned?
This is not the night I envisioned, no. I'm a little, does anyone of my panelists want to say some things? I'm a little at a loss for words here.
Just want to say, deja vu. I've been here, folks. I've been here. These kind of surprise votes do happen. There is life after Donald Trump becoming the president of the United States. There are lots of people saying lots of things. You know, the world is waking up right now. I won't go into too much detail, but everyone wants clarity on basically everything. I think he's going to spend the first 6 months of his term in office just trying to clarify what he thinks about Syria, about trade, about China, what he's going to do with the UK, how he's going to deal with Brexit. I mean,
I wish he cared enough. I mean, I'm sorry. The image that I see is like the Imperial Death March and his inauguration with like giant red photos of his face on the side and stormtroopers. Like, that's what I'm seeing.
Millions and millions of Americans didn't see it like that, and they saw a vote for Trump as a vote for hope, as a vote for change, and as a wild card. And I think that has to be. I mean, we need to say that on this panel.
And yet they like that authoritarianism. That's the thing. They were voting for someone who was going to come in and grab this world and say, look, I'm going to bring you, I'm going to empower you. It's one of the reasons of people like Putin. You talk to a lot of Russian people, they say, as all the bad things that Putin does, he makes them feel strong, he makes them feel empowered.
But what does that tell you about the last 8 years of a Democratic leader, of Barack Obama, who has led people basically...
He was more popular than both of them.
May have been more popular, but has seemed to have made people more disillusioned than ever. And it's that disillusionment, that discontentment that the American people have come out and voted against categorically.
And quite frankly, he's not that popular because he went out and campaigned for Hillary Clinton, but people didn't listen to him. So there are people who like...
He wasn't on the ballot.
But he went and gave a full endorsement, campaigned for her.
He's not on the ballot.
I don't understand why we keep talking about them as if they're the same people.
Yeah.
They're very, very vastly different candidates.
Yes.
We can't say that, you know, this county went for Obama by this many points and this. That was a completely different time, completely different person. Hillary Clinton is not Obama as much as she tried to pretend she was, and that was one of the ways in which she ended up winning the primary. But the point is that we keep comparing them when frankly we shouldn't.
Right, and I never thought that made much sense. I mean, I'm the one who said from the beginning she's not going to do as well with these people and that people. But I'll also say this for what you mentioned before about people voting for Trump and they think it's hopeful. If you listen to top Republican consultants in 2008, 2012, they will tell you that there's been this hidden mass of white folks out there who are angry and resentful and were just disenchanted with Mitt Romney and disenchanted with John McCain because they didn't think they were strident enough. And that's what I was saying. Perhaps Barack Obama is the outlier. And perhaps we do have a grotesque, authoritarian, highly racist country that finds that fine as long as it's at the expense of other people. And that may be what just happened. And we'll all have to suffer through it.
Can we give, like, props where props are due to the Republican Party and what they've done over the past 8 years? The minute that Barack Obama was elected president, they went to congressional districts that were maybe leaning Republican, maybe, you know, swing districts, fielded the most extreme Tea Party candidates in order to shut down the government, right? This is all documented. They found them, they recruited them, they gave them money, and they got them in power. This is their own doing. I feel sorry for those that are more centrist Republicans. This is why there's the people in Congress that have no idea what to do with Trump. This is their own doing. Right. But this is something that they've meticulously invested in, the fringe of their party, and now they have a ruler who's that.
Well, and I take issue with painting 100% of the people who voted for Trump to the point that was made earlier as the fringe right and the racists and
I mean the Tea Party candidates that they've
I do.
So
I do
because I just jump in here, Lucy. I'm going to come back to you, but I just think it is worth noting again, since you guys have been with us all night, and in the issue of in the interest of transparency, No major networks have called this for Donald Trump. We do have Kelly O'Donnell from NBC, the NBC reporter Kelly O'Donnell, tweeting out that apparently Hillary Clinton has called Donald Trump to concede. But it's interesting because it's like we're living in two different worlds here, right? One where this is unprecedented. The AP is never out in front of the television networks. They are much more cautious. The television networks being extremely cautious about what it is they're calling. And so I just want to honor and acknowledge that we are all here having a different conversation than the conversation that, you know, is being had on other television stations. So just in case you're using either us or them as a second screen and you're wondering if you're living in a vortex, this is all
we're definitely living in a vortex.
So I just want to add.
Sorry, Lucy, you weren't done with your thought.
Well, because look, I think it's dangerous. It's dangerous to refer to all of them as every single Trump voter as yes. But again, you know, I've said this
Seriously,
so many times. There is that element, to be sure. We do live in a country that has a lot of racist, misogynist, terrible basket of deplorables who live in this country. And frankly, I think that Hillary Clinton should have stuck by that comment. She should have doubled down on it, because we do have to call those people out. But there's also the other people who said, you know what? I'm just going to vote for change. I don't care if it's Donald Trump or, you know, any other random person who I felt was going to reset this system for me. I don't have a job. My kids can't afford college. Some of them who think immigrants have taken their jobs, etc. Right? Like, we have to. It's dangerous to just paint them all with this broad brush. There's a lot of people who are just upset at the system right now. We have to acknowledge those folks.
If you want a candidate who, see, I have no problem acknowledging that that's the country that I live in. Because if you vote for a candidate whose entire campaign is based on those sorts of philosophies and those sorts of beliefs, then you are sort of advocating. Just like, look, if you voted for Barack Obama, then you're obviously pro-choice, and you don't have problems with abortion.
That's not true. You can't know.
No, I don't think that's a problem. When you have someone who is running on that kind of platform, then you are essentially saying that you have no problem with that kind of platform.
No.
All right,
can I just give one more example? I'm sorry, because I feel very strongly about this. I was an elected official for almost 10 years, an elected official or a candidate. I talked to every last voter out there because I try to represent every single person, no matter what party they belong to. I know, because I've talked to folks day in and day out. I just lost a primary not too long ago. And so for me, I've heard those personal stories. I've heard people say, yes, it bothers me that he's attacking my grandma who just came from Mexico. Yes, it bothers me that he's saying all of these other things. Yes, it bothers me that he's talking about sexually assaulting women. But they're trying to figure out how they're going to eat that day. They're trying to figure out how they're going to how their kids are going to go to school. They're trying to figure out how they're going to survive day in and day out. And they see all of these folks that are benefiting in our economic conditions right now, and they're saying, and they don't believe in politicians. They don't believe in our system, and they are categorically saying, we are willing to excuse all of this stuff. No, I don't believe in racism. No, I don't believe in sexism, but I'm going to excuse all of that.
Let me just jump in for a second, because I have a technical issue that I need to address. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, who have stuck with us all night long, thank you.